Lesson number one with streaming and YouTube stuff and any other stuff like this in general, be very wary of situations where you have too much to talk about, because that's when you talk around in circles and don't really say much of anything. So I didn't specify what I was going to talk about with this stream for that specific reason. What is up, everybody? This is Jay, aka MultimediaJay, and I got chat here and I got chat there, but what am I going to look at? I don't know. Can't believe, you know, I do a Guild Wars 2 stream and folks actually liked it, which it's cool that people are being nice about this stuff, because I remember when I first played Guild Wars 2, I was making gaming videos and folks were like, what the heck's your problem? Why are you making gaming videos when you could just stream on Twitch? I said, I don't have streaming internet. Well, now I do. It took me long enough to get involved, almost to age 40, but here I am. So we got Dan in the house tonight, and see here, 2 folks, 2 likes according to this, but we know that's messed up and stuff. So there's a lot that's going on, as you can imagine. We'll try and talk about some of it tonight. The after the fact crowd can stop by during the day and get caught up on things as to what's going on. But I have so many things that I could be talking about. I have so many things that I could be talking about right now that there's no way that I could just have a topical discussion tonight. So whatever we want to talk, it's gonna get like absolutely scrambled here. But let me just first, why don't we just start with the constraints to any discussions that I want to have, that we have tonight with, you know, the chat or about the channel or whatever it is. And that is, it's 1:48 at the Geek House right now. I have to cut myself off and actually do some chores on a Sunday night heading into Monday morning, because Monday is trash pickup day in this neighborhood. So I got one thing, the usual stuff ready to go, but I'm probably going to fill at least one more trash bag with stuff that needs to, because this is the only time I have before the father-son get-together on my 40th birthday, which has now been bumped up to the Friday before. So I guess on my last day, as what my generation would call a young guy, my dad's going to be like, or something. No. We're both trying not to get depressed about this. You can't make, like I said earlier, you can't make fun of somebody because of their age, because there's some kind of smart-ass response in either direction, no matter which way you go. So, I mean, he can be like, ha, you're 40 years old, ha, my son's middle-aged now, and I could be like, all I'd have to do is fire back and be like, hey, Dad, you're old enough to have a 40-year-old son. And by the way, I remember when you had that little discussion with my grandmother when I was little, when she finally was old enough to have a 40-year-old son. It's like, of course, we already did the whole getting old sucks discussion earlier as it is, but it's kind of a cliche and it's kind of a meme in my family anyways, but trying to hammer out the details on what's going to happen. He will be coming up to the Geek House. I'm just trying to put together some kind of something or another using the term honorary millennial. Because what I'd like to do is we've been talking on email and stuff about how, you know, despite our generational differences, we have a few things in common, and we have some things in common such that you can tell that I'm related to him because of the things we both do. So even though I've very much been the computer nerd and the tech nerd, and my dad has kind of taken my lead on things like using emoticons and emails and things like that, he's not totally out in the woods tech-wise. He tries to figure stuff out on his computer before he calls me about it. He just hasn't formally studied that stuff. And I can't say that it's not within his ability to carve away at the generational differences between baby boomers and millennials like myself. It's not totally out of his control to do that, because take a look, for example, you're seeing part of it here, but this is my secondary screen, is part of my setup that I have, which combines together computers and audiovisual equipment, which is one of the core things that somebody going by the name MultimediaJay would probably have. So the thing is, I don't just do computers only. I combine together the best of computers and the best of AV stuff. And one of the decisions I made with regards to that was not to use computer speakers. My last round of computer speakers was Logitech Z5500s, and they started popping, and I found out the amplifiers could go out and stuff like that. And then I found out there was no warranty of any kind. So, well, excuse me, there was a warranty, but there's no service outside of the warranty. Once the 1 year, whatever it was, warranty expired, there was no repairs, no parts, no nothing. And the control thingy that you used to turn the knob and adjust the volume on the speakers was proprietary and hardware keyed to the subwoofer, so you couldn't just replace it with something else if it broke. Of course, nowadays on Amazon, there are devices that override that stuff, that let you, hook up a replacement for the control pod and stuff and use the speakers as independent speakers. Nowadays, we have stuff like that. But in the late 2000s, that wasn't the case. This really tells me, how long I've had those speakers and I've barely used them because they just got rendered obsolete, I should say, so quickly. Yeah. So here's my dad, right? He's got an entertainment center with a television. Used to be a tube TV. Now he finally has a 1080p Westinghouse 32-inch, I think it was. So he has a TV. He used to, when I was growing up, he thought he was cool because he used VCRs, like so many people did in the 90s. But he had a setup with 2 VCRs where he could record on one and watch on the other, and watch something else on the other. And he thought he was like hot stuff for that technology-wise. Well, now his son, myself, I have a setup where the computer goes into an AV receiver, which handles all the audio from the computers, the consoles. Now there's an HDMI audio return cable going from this new TV if I'm using smart TV apps and stuff. So you grab the remote, sometimes multiple remotes, and you change settings and sources depending on what it is that you're doing. So audio return channel, unfortunately, has this thing where it keeps grabbing the volume. It keeps grabbing control of the system, even though if I'm not watching TV, so I actually have to keep turning it off. When I'm using the computer, audio return is turned off on the AV receiver, because otherwise, every time I turn on the TV, it's going to immediately grab the volume like I'm going to use smart apps, and it won't play the computer's sound unless I change the source every single time. So to make it so I can just turn the receiver on and off, I turn off audio return. If I'm going to use the smart apps, then I'll turn it back on, because that's the only way that cable works. Otherwise, the only option I have is to go toss-link optical out the back of the TV and not have an extra cable. Now I have to deal with fiber optics, so it can't be bent too much. So I think what I have right now works. Audio return is fine and stuff, but I consider what I have here to be the descendant of what my dad had with his TV and VCRs set up. So I got rid of computer speakers specifically, and I have 2 bookshelves for front, left, and right. Mica center channel sitting on top of that Stanley shelf on top for my center channel, and 2 MTX audio bookshelves for back, left, and right. The reason why I have the speakers I have for the surrounds is so they can handle about 100 watts per channel. There are some speakers over on, like, say, Monoprice and stuff that can only do 30 watts a channel. If I do that, the receiver is going to blow the speakers because it does up to 100 watts per channel, about 80 to 100 watts or so. So I wanted to make sure the power handling was in there. The system was made to do 660 watts with a passive sub. So, but it's from 2010. It's something I got to talk to my dad about. He thinks I'm just buying stuff whenever on a whim and stuff like that. No, actually, the TV is new. This screen, this Walmart screen, is from 2020. The center channel is from 2019. The bookshelf speakers are from the late 2010s, as are the bookshelves in the back that do the rear speakers. So most of my setup, and of course the AV receivers from 2010. If I watch Blu-rays, usually 1080 these days, I'll either watch them if I don't watch them on PC, which tends to be buggy as it has before, I'll run them through a PS3, which is circa 2012 for me. It's a PS3 Slim. Logan's here. Been using my old 15-year-old Dell speakers for years and running them into the ground. I think they still sound good, so why not? They probably do decent mid-range. Decent mid-range. When I was in college, I had a set of 2 Polk Audios, which came with the HP, that did decent mid-range. And then I went and bought a Kmart subwoofer and went to Radio Shack. We had those back then. Picked up a mono, what did we used to call that audio thing? Mini, that's right. A mini splitter, mini plug splitter. Go stereo audio, split it in 2. So it would go to 2 mid-ranges with better sound quality than the satellites, with a Cyber Acoustics 2.1 set with a little 4-inch subwoofer inside a poof box that had no bass, but I had a big hard wooden desk in the dorms, so I threw it in the desk drawer and it rattled the desk instead of its box, and that gave it some bass. So that was my setup. I've had plenty of hack job setups. See, I told you I didn't have anything specific to talk about, so we're going to go off on tangents depending on what people talk about here. Chat chooses the direction of the stream. So, yeah. But all this all this ties back to, toss around the idea of honorary millennial to introduce my dad to how our generation does things, or my generation does things. Some of you younger folks have some little differences between us, but I think for the most part, we think like millennials. You know, we deal with the crap that millennials put up with. We're accused of destroying certain industries, and we don't have the money that our parents did. So for various reasons, even if we go to college. I'm sure college and student debt is part of the equation too, although I've got a couple thou left to pay off. So I never switched over to the Obama administration's income-based repayment, so I'm still on the George W. Bush system. I've just been finding ways to turtle money-wise, even during the recession, even when I was laid off and stuff. So that way I'm still on the original repayment plan from 2004. Now, I'm a millennial, so I can relate. Yeah, pretty much anybody, see here. I think the cutoff year is 1996. Anyone born after 96. Well, the cutoff for me is pretty simple, if you're American at least. If you're old enough to remember the September 11th attacks, and on the day that they happened, not learning them through a history book, that marks a millennial or someone older. Gen Z, someone born in 1997 or so, or later, would have been in like preschool when the September 11th attacks happened. They'd be lucky if they even remembered them. So, if you have working memory of September 11th, if you have working memory of 9/11, where you were, what you were doing, what level school you were in or whatnot, or what age you were at the time, that makes a millennial or someone older. So, my case, it was college. Got woken up the day of the attacks. My suite mates in our college suite were like, hey, I know you don't have class until noon, but get in front of CNN right now. The whole world's gone nuts. And they're showing the CNN footage of the towers with the planes having flown into them and stuff. So, and that's really it, yeah. So I'm tossing around the idea of honorary millennial for my dad. So we can try and bridge this boomer versus millennial thing once and for all. Because, well, I was one when 9/11 happened, so yeah. Yeah, of course. So I don't know what the differences are going to be between millennials and Gen Z, except I know some Zoomers had a bit of a problem with the student loans thing, or they want to redo college. Instead of going for a comprehensive degree, they'll go for applied education for jobs they want to get, which I think is a better idea anyways. A lot of the reason I wound up with a comprehensive degree is because nobody in my family had graduated college before up to that point. There were people with some college who didn't actually complete the degree and stuff, but I was actually the first person to graduate with a comprehensive degree. So nobody really had any idea. So I was sick that day, so I was watching TV. I actually called off of work that night because I was like, well, if this happened in New York and Washington, D.C., then where else can it happen? So I'm like, then there was a whole bunch of other crap that happened to result that. We got up in Afghanistan later that year. So we got up in Afghanistan, of course, later that year. But it's just, right. So that's what this all ties back to, is this honorary millennial thing. So what other stuff's been going on here besides all of that? Well, I can tell you that as far as needy streamer overload goes, I spoiled the last 3 endings of the game. So yesterday, laundry took a bit longer than I thought it would, so that's why I didn't do any game streams of any sort. But, so what happened was, I basically ground through that save file from when we tried streaming it, got the rest of the bad endings. So all that's left is for me to play constructively. But I was like, before I actually put in the effort to play constructively, let me just see what it is that I'm heading towards. And so I watched the remaining endings for Needy Streamer Overload on YouTube. And no, there is no such thing as a good ending in Needy Streamer Overload. Some of the endings are just worse than others. It's just, there is no fixing Amy-chan. There is absolutely no fixing Amy-chan. No fixing her whatsoever. She will always be at least a little messed up. So it's, and I was reading about that. It's like, apparently Needy Streamer Overload is a game that is basically designed to be an experience more so than to be fun or recreational. It's one of those things where you're like, well, that was something. Not everything is fun or recreational when it comes to entertainment. If you watch a slasher movie and you're scared of the jump scares and stuff, can't say the experience is enjoyable when the TV's freaking you out every so often. But it's something where you're like, okay, I just want to do that just for the experience. The same thing too, like as Yugi found out tonight in Thailand, she's Korean, but she ordered spicy food in Thailand, which you don't do if you can't handle spicy food in Thailand. Remember, folks, the ghost pepper is from India. So you're not that far from, where the hottest peppers in the world comes from. You don't order spicy food. And she went nuts. It was somebody probably clipped it. There's a whole bunch. Her and Ginny have been doing some really good clips lately, like the one I shared yesterday of the them on the jet ski. And it's important to remember, Ginny is the established big streamer with thousands of concurrents, and Yugi is the established mid-sized streamer with 3-digit concurrents. Usually, I've been cynical of the Thailand trip because I was like, are Ginny's friends just gonna? Well, she's the only one there. Is Yugi just going to tag along the whole time and not do anything of her own? Well, not on that jet ski. She didn't. She scared the heck out of her way more experienced streamer-wise BFF there. I was thinking of playing that on this stream, actually, just to laugh at it, but it's been less than 24 hours, so it would go against 24-hour exclusivity for anybody who's monetized on Twitch, and somebody who is one of her managers or whatnot might have to DMCA me if I played it during the exclusion period, because technically I'd be taking Twitch content and bringing it over to YouTube before 24 hours was up. So no reaction to that, but you can see it on my Twitter. You can probably also see it in Ginny's clip section over on twitch.tv/GinnyTTY. But so I guess Yugi had some kind of challenge. So she was in this Thai restaurant for, let's see, it's 2 flip AM PM. So she was having lunch over there, and she decided to order challenge food. So she ordered one of the spiciest things on the menu and found out the hard way. So anyways, we were talking about needy streamer overload. How did we get to this? Do I really have to set the string to DVR mode and rewind everything to find out how he got here? I don't know. I didn't come here with anything specific to talk about for specifically this reason. Yeah, when you have too much to talk about, you have this big problem with talking around in circles and not really saying very much. So anyways, needy streamer overload. I've been digging around looking at VOD channels on YouTube, watching other streamers that have played it. I was introduced to it because of Rei playing it. She didn't stick with it. Found the VOD of Hachabi playing it. She couldn't handle the Sims-inspired sex scene when P-chan and Amy-chan get it on. So it's a first time she was like, what does this do? And then she's like, oh, I can't play this. This game is so weird. And then there was then I found the VOD where on Lily Pichu's VOD channel where she tries the game out. I skipped ahead and found out that she got the OnlyFans ending, Sexy Stream 5. If you go through the entire Sexy Stream progression, it ends the game because your character does a steamy stream that gets them banned, and they have to go somewhere else because of that. So, or at least that's what's implied by the ending. So I refer to it as the OnlyFans ending. So it's But the thing with Lily Pichu is, if you know anything about Korean aegyo, I don't think she is Korean though, where squeaky cartoon or anime voice is another thing from that part of the world. Like squeaky anime voice or something. She does that as part of her character. But if you can imagine a squeaky anime voice streamer voicing Amy Chan's lines from Needy Streamer Overload, the game itself is cringe as all hell to begin with. And then we have Lily Pichu voicing Amy Chan's lines. I might need the headphones for that. I don't want the neighbors to think I have some strange whatever watching that at 2 a.m. Maybe they don't know I'm night shift. What's the problem with that guy? Well, no wonder he stays away from people. He has weird hobbies. But Well, the VOD is pretty old. The VOD's pretty old at this point, so I don't think it would violate exclusivity. But if you're familiar with Lily Pichu and the squeaky voice she does, the anime voice that she does as part of her character, that playing needy streamer overload. A girl in your room. More like anime waifu or something. I mean, regular girls around here don't talk like that. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's just nobody goes that high. Nobody goes that high around here. I'm sorry. It's just maybe like a few people here and there, but by and large, that's a cartoon thing. Actually, Lily Pichu doesn't go that high. There's footage out there of her real voice. She's doing the squeaky anime voice as part of her character. You know, the difference between Lily Pichu, the personality, and who she is off camera. There's various videos out there. Just type into YouTube Lily Pichu real voice. And other than the time when she's making fun of anime and she busts out her real voice for something else, there are some like casual footage or someone streaming over her friend's house or something. They catch her on camera not acting in character, and her real voice is out there if you know where to look. So yeah, it's part of her character that she does that, which makes it even, when you know that, it makes it even cringier knowing what game she's playing. So, but yeah, I went and just spoiled the rest of the endings. There is no good ending in that game. It's just, the game is designed to be like a psychological experience. Lily Pichu deep voice compilation. Yeah, that's one of them. The game is designed to be a psychological experience akin to watching a horror movie, essentially. But it's just watching these streamers react to this. The thing is, though, the problem, as we know, is that I couldn't tell whether it was supposed to be satire or whether it was supposed to be a caricature or whether someone just spent too much time on the nastier side of Twitch. Because as crazy as you may think Amy Chan is, there are Twitch streamers out there who act like that. Just hang around streamer Twitter. Look at all those little Twitch affiliates who wonder why their channels aren't growing when they're like super hyper emotional over the tiniest things. And then they're friendly on camera and monsters on Twitter. It's like they can't be consistent, so you don't know what kind of person they really are. So it's just, when people, I mean, you're talking about personality streaming here. One of the things that Twitch has really done well for itself is the whole personality streamer thing, where it's a connection to a personality, similar to if you had like a favorite radio show that you listen to or a favorite TV show you watch or something. It's basically a smaller version of radio and TV. You know, it may be parasocial, mostly a one-way connection you have with that person where they have no clue who you are, but we've been doing that for years. People have their favorite actors or their favorite musicians or whatever, something along those lines. I mean, streaming lets you get more social if you branch it off into a Discord or something where you have a way to meet people instead of just having them be names in the chat. So, but even just parasocially, as streaming currently is, it's just like, you know, one of the driving things of streaming that makes people want to watch streamers is the connection they feel with the person. So if it's about getting others to like you, essentially, it's a giant popularity contest, and you sabotage that by being different depending on which platform you're on, how do you intend on achieving that? It's like one of the fundamental rules of streaming is that all these Twitch streamers like, I'm building my brand. Well, that's kind of impersonal, but then they bring back the human involvement, like, I'm building a community. Okay, you're building a community. Bad word to describe your fan base, but okay, let's play along. You're building a community. That's going to involve human interaction. That's going to involve social skills. That's going to involve you need to be relatable and likable as a personality. There we go. You need to I think I'll get redundant if I say that. The bottom line in all of this is, you know, there are people who act like Amy Chan, plain as day. So that's why I don't know if it's satire or a caricature, because I have seen some hyper emotional streamers. They may not have large followings, so they can't keep things professional, but I've already run into those people. I know they're out there. It's disturbing, making where I wonder, the developers of Needy Streamer Overload, where exactly did they get their inspiration from? Is there a big streamer that they had in mind that they got their inspiration from for that game? Why is it the case that I have a hard time figuring out if what I'm playing or watching or whatever is caricature or not, is satire or not? So yeah, it's more of a bucket list item for me. I picked up the game, and it is what it is. Quick, unmute the preview. It's more of a bucket list item for me. I picked up the game, and it is what it is. Quick, unmute the preview. It's more of a bucket list item for me. I picked up the game, and it is what it is. Trying to home in on a version on a volume level that works. It looks like something's been adjusted. Even though I have everything ear trumpeted the same way before, I got to go down to 5%. Or do I? Something's been adjusted. Even though I have everything ear trumpeted the same way before, I got to go down to 5%. Or do I? Something's been adjusted. We'll check that out later. That's one of the things I've been doing with these is listening to. That's one of the things I've been doing with these things is listening to them afterwards, seeing if things have changed. I think something has changed because at the same settings, it seems like I've had trouble with the volume on so-called background music lately. OBS hasn't changed either. It's something with how the sound system handles everything. Could be the case that I was playing with NVIDIA Broadcast and the NVIDIA Broadcast virtual sound device is still in here, but I don't see it in the list, so I think that uninstalled. And that might have reset some things to defaults, and I had to set them all back. So, yeah. Needy Streamer Overload, man. Am I ever going to play it again? Might play it seriously, but the thing is, I know there's really nothing to shoot for in that game except 100% completing the Steam achievements. Excuse me if you heard that before, by the way. Yeah, other than completing the Steam achievements, there's what's there to do. I know that the ending, there's no good endings. You don't feel like you've accomplished anything when you've spent a virtual month in that game helping this insanely bizarre streamer girl get some amount of followers or whatever. It's like... And then there's the secret ending. Basically what happens is no matter how good you do with the good endings, when you have all the other endings in the game, you get to access that secret text that you couldn't click on. So what happens, though, this is all on YouTube, by the way, so apparently Amy Chan plays through because it's a point-and-click game based on choices and the decisions that it makes, it replays a perfect playthrough of the game that gets her millions of followers. And then she's like, see, I never needed you. I was better off on my own anyway. So it's just bizarre. It's just totally bizarre. And then I wonder, you know, if you're already established in game with saves and everything, can you even go back to those saves? Because when you go to save 0, it says that you don't, it says that you can't go back once you click save 0 to see that. So this is a game where when I beat it, I might have to uninstall the game completely and try and delete my saves, hope they're not backed up in the cloud. And, you know, then what? It's weird. So yeah, it's a bucket list item. I saw someone else playing it, so I figured, let me try it. And now, here we are. I definitely can say I've gotten more enjoyment out of plenty of other games on Steam. Alright. What else did we have to talk about here? Let's see here. The original thing I was going to talk about was YouTube going omni-media and not getting stuck in the past on that, but we'll save that for another day. It's 2:15. Should probably call it and go do some chores a little later on. Just got to make sure we get out there before sunrise, otherwise I'll just be up too late. Yeah, so Needy Streamer Overload. What a mess. Hey, what about this Thailand thing? Apparently it's going around. I could always open up Twitter and also iterate on some of the things I've been tweeting about too. Could always take that approach to it. So we also have this other situation going on here. We have a similar game. I know YouTube Tycoon exists, but it is different. No, that's the thing. I mean, I was talking with someone on Discord. It was actually one of Vendalia's fans. And I showed the screenshot of the angry little Twitch affiliate ending where she gets mad at me and blocks me and stuff like that on fake Twitter. What is that, a streamer simulator? And I'm like, somebody going down the rabbit hole. Here we go. Because that's what the game looks like. It looks like a streamer simulator type thing. So you think it's that, then you go into it and you find out the hard way that it's got all this other dark stuff in it. So it's crazy. But yeah, if there was a game that actually was like streamer simulator without being some kind of social commentary on mental health or some kind of thing where you can't tell if it's a caricature or a satire or if it's actually trying to be serious, I think it would probably be something that people would enjoy. No, there's already PC building simulator, which I'm actually thinking of getting with everything being as expensive as it is. There's already PC building simulator on Steam, so I know that there are simulator games about incredibly mundane driving simulator too. There's a driving game that you hook up a wheel and stuff like that. Goat simulator, go around playing as a goat. Cat simulator, going around playing as a cat. A farming simulator, trucking simulator. So many developers out there have tried to actually make simulation games. It makes me wonder when someone's going to make something like Simulator, which simulates you making a simulation game and stuff. Although, similar to it, there's already video game developer simulator games that simulate you being at a video game studio trying to make and sell a video game. So it's just what people consider games these days goes all over the map. So I suppose, you know, something like Needy Streamer Overload that actually is what you think it is when you start playing it, you could probably sell on Steam. Game Dev Tycoon. Right. Let's deal with something interesting here. So we talked about the Ginny Yugi jet ski clip earlier. That was hilarious. And as much as, you know, I was cynical of this whole Thailand thing that these streamers are doing, let me actually check some VODs here. Bounce over to Twitch, make sure that something else that I was hoping wouldn't happen didn't happen. Jake and Bake live. Load up Jake and Bake's channel here. Make sure everything's muted. Oh, he is live. He's in Singapore. Okay. So there's people that are talking about how it's a Thailand meta. Excuse me? You remember when, I know I was on Out It Continues years ago, myself and Staffa, the host, were talking about how people are too quick to call something gate. Like Gamergate was the thing at the time. And we're like, everybody's too quick to call something scandalous something gate. Which I was like, you know, that makes me wonder when there's going to be a scandal about gates. And it's going to be called Gategate. The truth of the matter is, Watergate wasn't like a compound word. Watergate was a hotel named after a thing that you control water with. So the Watergate scandals in the 70s was something at a hotel. It wasn't meant to turn into some kind of something gate, always means something bad. So you had all that. I think we're kind of repeating history with that with meta. Oh, but what about the hot tub meta? That was something that a lot of streamers suddenly started doing. You know, that was something that a lot of streamers suddenly started to do. Okay, Thailand meta. Like I've been hearing going around recently. Let me just check Twitter. Let me look that up, because Twitter is incredibly searchable. Who's talking about Thailand meta? Might have to do latest instead of top, because there's algorithm stuff here. Tallulah and Gaspard. Why have oh, that's Awkward's Travel. Are they in Thailand? Yeah. IRL meta equals Thailand? Talking about being early to the party, 5 years early. Let's see here. IRL meta is Thailand. Oh, Daily Dasher. That's a streamer from New York City. I thought he was like a DoorDash streamer, but he's actually he actually just does IRL there and stuff. Let's see. Metaverse Thailand. Okay, now we're getting into Facebook-y type stuff. Thailand's first metaverse event. Let me look up latest. Get the algorithms out of the picture. Let's see. Thailand. It has to include meta. It has to include Thailand meta though. Why are these posts not talking about Thailand meta? It's either Thailand or meta. All right. But there's people going around, oh, it's a Thailand meta. It's a Thailand meta. It's a Thailand meta. IRL meta. Streamer meta. What? Like you had people guarding gates. Yeah, I mean, okay. Let's be the voice of reason here with this Thailand meta thing. Who's in Thailand right now? Who are the foreigners that are in Thailand? According to the Thai, of course. Ginny and Yugi. Cook Sucks is in Singapore. Jake and Bake is in Singapore. Cheongi might take a trip to Thailand. But what were the seasons in Thailand? She might not be there at a time when it's a good time to go to Thailand. So part of the reason probably why this trip happened is because Thailand rolled back their COVID restrictions on international travelers. So they rolled everything back. And so if you sprung for it at around the time those restrictions were being lifted, you might have caught the price. You might have caught your flight tickets at prices that were based on the previous conditions when things were stricter, and could have scored a cheap Thailand flight. So that's how Jay Streezy wound up over there. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention Jay Streezy. All right, but before, let's do one thing at a time here with this Thailand meta thing that people are talking about. Who's over there? Is it really a meta similar to the hot tub thing? I mean, a lot of people want to go to Thailand, but it's probably going to be a different story when they get there. Thailand seasons. I know they have a monsoon season. Thailand seasons. 3 seasons. You have a cool season between November and February, which is when Ginny and Yugi first went over. But then things heat up. We get into the hot season in into early March. So they're going into the hot season right now. So if any of these other streamers go over there to copy these two, number one, it's going to be a different cost for the plane tickets. Number two, it's going to be different weather. It's going to be hotter. Hot season will be March and May, and a rainy monsoon season between June and October. So it's tropical no matter what, no matter how you slice or dice it. But it's going to be worse weather for anybody else who goes over there now, who copies those two. But let's just rattle them off here. So you have Ginny and Yugi, 2 streamers, okay? You have Jay Streezy, another guy I can talk about, by the way. He had some stuff go on with him today. Jay Streezy, but he kind of doesn't count because he spent years in Southeast Asia already when he was stuck in Vietnam during the COVID lockdowns. And then Nina Neon, a.k.a. Neen, rookie streamer, by the way, for those that were in the Keth raid over to her stream last week. So she's so new to streaming, her phone crashes when she gets a raid. And then she ran the phone down to when the battery died, and that was the end of the stream. So she's not walking around yet with a bunch of charge boxes and stuff like most IRL streamers would do. But okay, so yeah, Streezy and Neen don't really count because Neen is from Vietnam. Streezy has spent years in Vietnam. He's hardly a tourist, and he'd been to Thailand before. So how is this a meta? How is this a meta? You're 2 streamers from Korea going around Thailand. The other folks who are like, oh, they're going to be in Thailand, are in Singapore. Maybe Thailand is the next stop. But they didn't go straight to Thailand. It's not like this giant convergence of streamers. And then we can talk about the cultural appropriation side of this. Why is it a big deal that foreigners essentially are going to Thailand when there's already Thai streamers who live in Thailand all the time? People overthink it. They're too jumpy. This is part of Twitch culture, and this is a part of Twitch culture that I absolutely can't stand. It's just, never mind Twitch people being fishbowled, both streamers and the people who watch them. They act like Twitch is all there is, and heck with those YouTube frogs. It's nuts, you know. But then you have this, where, okay, so 2 streamers right now are in Thailand, plus 2 more when they get done with Singapore. So 4 streamers, 6 streamers, if you count 2 people who already have a lot of experience in Southeast Asia, and, you know, are already... They're not exactly going to be going to tourist attractions because they're already familiar with what it's like to be in that part of the world. It's not as exotic for them. But all of this ignores streamers like Just Keth, people that actually are Thai, who've been streaming all along, but now suddenly there's attention being brought to Thailand because other streamers from other countries who are going to be going to the tourist traps, don't speak the language, and just really don't have the pulse of what it's like to live there, except maybe Streezy and Neen, because they already have years of experience in Southeast Asia under their belt. What's this from Dan? I'd be like, hey, I feel like going to Japan, but who knows? Wasn't it Moon that had that infamous anti-weeb speech, so to speak? Like, you're never gonna go to Japan. Yeah, excuse me. You're never gonna be a hero in Japan. You're never gonna meet the girl of your dreams in Japan. You're never gonna have anime superpowers. I saw that skit once there, but let's see here. Let's see. And of course, this is about, who is this? Yeah, Pim. PPIM. That's the name that she goes by. She came down with COVID though, so she's been off the scene lately. Hasn't streamed in over a week. Hope she's all right. But yeah, Pim is a Thai streamer. Let me look at this Awkward's Travel. Awkward's Travel. I'm already following it. Tallulah and Gaspard, they're full-time travelers. Are they originally? Looks like they're in. Are they originally from Thailand? See here. We're full-time travelers. Let's see here. So they travel at various places and whatnot. Are they Thai though? Looks like they said they've been there for 5 years. So, but yeah, Thailand meta, forget it. And we can even talk about cultural appropriation. There's already people who actually live in the country and actually are Thai people. That should be getting more attention. We can always do a numbers check on this crap too. So, and it's not even that too, even from a foreigner's perspective like my own. Even from a foreigner's perspective, Nick Newman, one of the guys that does meta discussions about YouTubing, I think he's based in Thailand as well. One of the draws of living in Southeast Asia is if you receive your donos and support in US dollars, it's about 30 Thai baht to US dollars. It's something I had to get used to watching this Thailand thing too. I know I have the joke, I like big bots and I cannot lie, but there actually is no plural form of bot. It's literally always bot, whether you're talking about one or whether you're talking about two. So, you know, you see people negotiating for like a tuk-tuk ride or something in Bangkok. Yeah, I'll take you there for 200 baht, 500 baht, 700 baht. Like, you just imagine. The reason why that bothers me is because there's a xenophobic joke from when I remember hearing when I grew up. People making fun of folks trying to sell stuff at flea markets who are from other countries and couldn't speak a lot of English. And they would always say like, $2, $2, $2. Never say dollars. Although people from Massachusetts might say dollars. Some rappers too, to make it rhyme with ballas and stuff like that. So along those lines. There was a Ja Rule song way back when that kind of went in that path too. But, you know, $2, $2. Yep, that was the joke. Never saying dollars. Well, there is no plural version of bot. It's always bot. There's no S on the end. It's interesting. So I guess we'd have the same thing on our hands if we made our money a lot more generic and just called it money. So instead of $2, it's 2 money. Yeah, give me 5 money for that. Give me 100 money for that. We could have the same thing going, I guess, if we did that. Let me check some numbers on this Thailand thing to see if I'm right. So here's what I was thinking. Thailand would be like a trip and whatnot, but it wouldn't have the same impact on these streamers, at least the tourists. It wouldn't have the same impact on these streamers as, say, a trip to Europe during the pandemic or something, because everything's getting unlocked and stuff like that. Let's see. Ginny did pretty well, but the jet ski thing with Yugi was comedy gold. So that kind of broke the muck of Yugi always running around trying to keep up with Ginny. But let me see. Browser mode. Minimize live control room. Let's minimize live control room here. This might be a stuff from streams thing to look up here. Browser mode. This thing's still the way it was before. Let's see. Link it up to Sully Gnome. All right. So this, what we have here. So 180, I think she's doing better 365 days-ish, somewhat. She has a big bump in 2021 that's still factored in. But if you look at just the last 180 days, this is the pandemic bubble bursting right here. There's a couple other scandalous things that happened, but she solved the boyfriend thing because she actually came out and made a video when she got together with a guy in America. So there's really no scandal left with that. It's just the way she acts and the way she treats her audience. But 4,000 was the magic number that she was locked at with the secret boyfriend fiasco earlier, with those weird videos on YouTube and stuff. But Thailand is roughly around here. So here we go. Other than the 24-hour stream, which let's actually run that through Twitch tracker. Keep the browser going. You see, when specifically, I'm guessing it was the jet ski thing, not Twitch tracker, Twitch TV, twitchtracker.com. I think it was the jet ski thing, because that went really viral. Because Ginny's basically the leader of this group of streamers with the most experience and most viewers, and there she is cowering while Yugi floors it on that jet ski. But as much as it might have been fun for her to do that, let's see, 5 March, 24-hour stream in Thailand full of fun. Pools hot. Oh, so what happened at the end of it? Is this in my time yet? It's in UTC -5. That's Eastern. Okay. Yep, that's US East. So at 11 a.m., she got raided. That's why. That's what the max viewers is. But let's see. Elden Ring sunk everything down. Let's put this on screen here. Let's see. Could also put uBlock. I also installed uBlock Origin to block malvertising. But let's see here. Close that out. Stop seeing this ad. Shut up, Google. All right, there's the jet ski thing. One of the top clips there. Let's see here. Plays Elden Ring in the hotel, and despite it being a fad, blah. Then the sun comes. Oh no, that's nighttime. No, that's nighttime. This is my time. 1900 hours, so AM stream. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I'm 12 hours away from Thailand. I don't use uBlock on YouTube though. And interestingly enough, Twitch actually has ads that uBlock can't actually block. So maybe Twitch is ahead of YouTube on resisting ad blocker technology. This is a daytime stream because this is my time, US East, 2300, 2400. So this is 11 o'clock at night, midnight, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 a.m., 6 a.m. So flip it around, morning and afternoon, they ran at Thunderstorm and stuff. So they did some stuff in the morning. I think she went to Monkey Mountain or something, and then she went off to the jet skis. And that's where you have these. What's this? Jets. Oh yeah, that's when she crashed into an island because Yugi didn't realize. There it is. Yeah, here we go. This is it right there. Jet ski dangers. All these people taking clips while she's going crazy on the jet ski, and she's like, oh, she's just hanging on like that. Yeah, look at that. They even crashed into an island. Yeah, that's where that cut is from. They crashed into an island because she found out the hard way that there's no hard brake when you're driving on a jet ski. I don't use on YouTube. Some of the ads are okay, but I love the please don't play these ads buttons. Yeah, I actually have to bring. That's one of the things I have to talk about too. Is I did some digging on YouTube Premium versus ads and stuff. Yeah, all the clips that people are making. That's right. That's one of the things I like about Twitch Tracker is that all the clips that people are making, you can actually see what happened where at various times and things like that. All right, jumping jacks, da-da-da. All right, that's Monkey Mountain. Then this is the jet ski part. What happened afterwards? They're just goofing around in the hotel. Guess they got raided by some people. You don't gain 1,000 you don't gain 1,000 concurrents suddenly like that unless you're raided. And she already gets so many concurrents that a raid of like 1,000 or 2,000 people won't look that interesting. But yes, that's them goofing around in the hotel after a 24-hour stream. But the jet ski thing though was the wildest part of it, as they got caught in a thunderstorm. But these two, despite the numbers thing, and as some of her own fans have called me before, Analyst Andy, stuff that I'm doing here, bottom line is these two are BFFs. They haven't streamed together, traveled together in a while because Ginny's all over the world. So the thing is, though, I think that Ginny's out of the loop. There's a couple of people talked about other streamers in the chat, like, hey, do you know these people? And she was like, no. But I guess she also doesn't even know her own friend here. Otherwise, she'd know that Yugi's been working on her own stream style and her own streams, her own content setup, completely separate from just being Ginny's friend. So she's involved on Instagram. She's involved on TikTok. She has 2 YouTube channels for VODs and regular videos, and carries a second smartphone with her, high-end, that has a better camera because she does streams in 720-30 in case she has bad signal. But she records YouTube videos while she's out streaming with her other phone. So instead of just grinding away on Twitch, because like her friend who has more numbers, instead of just grinding away on Twitch, she's doing a little of everything. So if, say, Twitch takes a nosedive, she has lots of other things that she can work off of. So let me go back to these numbers and let me see if I'm right on this. My hypothesis was the Thailand trip would just be a change of scenery, but because of everything going on with COVID restrictions being lifted and stuff, it wouldn't really do much for numbers for these people. Which, see, TV. Let's see here. So yeah, negative. She's positive 365 though. No, she's negative 365. All right, yeah. Well, it takes breaks every so often here. But let's see. Yeah, so February into March. So that would be about 30 days or so. When was Thailand? I think it was right like here or something. Because they're heading into first week of March with this kind of stuff. So, yeah, a little bit better because she got out of her apartment. A little bit better because she got out of her apartment. When we go to the 365 view, that's when we see, no, she actually did better in 2021. Side content makes sense. Well, that's one of the things I got to talk about is omnimedia and how YouTube's going omnimedia, and people need to get their heads out of the past when it comes to omnimedia, because I'm looking at data related to clips and stuff. There's not a lot of clipping going on my channel, but I'm making more use of the clip function that can actually bring people views to their YouTube videos. Jay Streezy. He unfortunately has been doing divide and conquer because he has an alt channel that he tests stuff on, and if he doesn't think his equipment's working well enough to stream on the main channel, you'll see him pop up on the alt channel. So his numbers are split up quite a bit. But he's also been guesting on streams too, but he hasn't really been as consistent with that. This is 365 days too, so let's see here. Going to 180 and stuff like that. I think this was Vietnam over here. So he's been getting affected. He's looking to branch out like so many other streamers I'm watching. He actually posted an ad looking for an editor to work on short form stuff. I'm actually a little confused about that. All right, let's get Twitter back on the screen here. How many things do you want to talk about with this kind of stuff? YouTube's going omnimedia. I know that one of the things that I'm up against as a YouTuber these days is people that don't want me to move forward with the platform. All right. Except, here's the potential of clips right here from the channel. Clip data for YouTube Analytics is available beginning August 2nd, 2021 to current date. So during this time period, about 41,000 views constituting 2,900 watch hours. About 1.3 are from clips, but I don't know if a lot of people are clipping just yet. YouTube, I think, has to do more to introduce people to clip culture, which is a thing over on Twitch, by the way. But YouTube clipping is better than Twitch clipping, because on Twitch, the clips are kind of their own separate ecosystem. So when the broadcast expires, the clip stays around. But you have to actually click a button and load another web page to go over to, if the VOD is still available, if you want to actually watch more, you actually have to click something and then wait for the page to load. With YouTube, clipping basically cuts up a video and you can turn on full video and then actually turn it back off again and go back to the clip. But clips on YouTube are going to be a little bit different than they are on Twitch. They're not integrated very well into the YouTube UI just yet. If YouTube fixes that, things might be better. Like I can't even put I can't put YouTube clips in a playlist. I can't even display them on my channel page, but they work on Twitter and they work on Discord. So if I'm talking about specific streamers or YouTubers over on Discord or on Twitter, then clips will work. So when YouTube kind of polishes this up a bit, so clipping is more of a thing you can use inside YouTube itself, including playlists and other stuff. I think clip popularity will take off big time. But this is basically Twitch culture, essentially. It's kind of a streamy thing. Same thing, too, with Super Thanks. Super Thanks is a dono button. And finally, with the whole situation with Gamers Nexus and Newegg, they just, Steve and his folks just put up a video today talking about, what am I, going all Massachusetts here? Gamers Nexus had a video today about going to Micro Center. A little while after they did their Newegg thing, they went to Micro Center. To go to Micro Center for the first time ever. Those lucky dogs. They're in California, so. They headed off to Micro Center and kind of filmed what it was like to go to Micro Center. And there were actually there were super thanks in the chat. So people donoed like $5-10 to compliment the video, because what this guy was doing was, the guy who does Gamers Nexus was going around helping someone pick out computer parts at a Micro Center. So they recognized him from the show, and he was like, yeah, I'll help you do this. Walked out, I think, with a Ryzen build with 5800 and stuff like that. Yeah, but this is something, really, this is something that has some potential here. Thing with clips too is the parts of a video that you really like or want to talk about or opine on, they'll embed somewhere else. I love it with clips, people will download it without other ways to do it. Well, a YouTube clip does not exist separately from the original video. You're basically setting up a cue point and up to a minute afterwards. It's not like Twitch clips. Twitch clips are a completely different beast. So that's why it was interesting when I saw Jay Streezy. What's he advertising here? Jay Streezy is actually advertising, here it is. I'm hiring a content, if paid work, DM me, people are responding to him. Good. Let me just make this bigger to not show the results. Back to browser mode. I'm hiring a content manager editor for daily short form videos, TikTok, Reels, and Shorts. So TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube Shorts. So he's branching, so Streezy's branching out from just Twitch streaming all the time. There's a couple of things that I can really, well, he already is involved on YouTube. I think he already has a YouTube channel. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I've seen his YouTube channel a couple of times. Times when things were too lousy, he couldn't stream. He just went out and filmed vlogs. So no, he's not really a Twitch streamer. He's every single one of them of the Twitch streamers that I follow in the hundreds range is branching into omni-media. It's largely the people that are thousands and up that are grinding away on Twitch these days, because that's basically what they have going for them. It's too much of a step backwards for a lot of them. Also, a lot of them, when they're that size, they can hire people to send stuff elsewhere. Like XQC can have somebody managing his YouTube channel for him. He doesn't actually need to do it. So it looks like Streezy's trying to get involved in more short form, which is where a lot of the action is today. You have people that are basically growing streams off of TikToks. Seen a few people even bragging about it in a stuck-up fashion like that. Let's see. TikToks, Reels, and Shorts. Familiar with Twitch travel content, experience with short-form videos, basement dweller with no social life. Please reply below if interested. So, let's see. The quote tweets from me, by the way, because I said it got the gears turning. The issue I have with Jay Streezy, though, doing this, the biggest hurdle he has to overcome is, obviously this is somebody that's going to take Twitch clips or something similar to Twitch clips and send them over as Instagram Reels, TikToks, and YouTube Shorts. The problem is, being a personality on Twitch builds a wall around yourself. It gets to the point where people have to know about you in order to do something, in order to have a reason to watch. My question for Streezy, especially if he's doing this based off of Twitch clips, and he's converting Twitch clips over to short form, my problem with Streezy here is that if his audience knows all the in-jokes and the stuff that's going on, how much of his clips are really transferable to the point where the general public can see them and be interested in watching his channel? I might have one of the few in that case. Let me see. Let me back out of this Zoom. Whoops. I'm still in OBS. Self-control 0 doesn't do anything. I didn't just screw everything up here. This is back to 0 to drop my see. Yeah, back to 0 on that to drop everything down. Let's see here. Russia announces third attempt at creating humanitarian... Oh, okay, I thought someone was tweeting me during this. I don't need more news on the Russia and Ukraine thingy. Let's see. Pim is getting back in. Okay, cool. Let's see here. Looks like Pim's getting back into streaming over in Thailand now that she's getting over COVID. That was, what, about a couple of days ago? Must be vaccinated. Jake and Bake. Where is it? What was I looking for that? Streezy? Twitch clips? Short form Instagram Reels? What was it? Twitch.tv. No. I was waiting to type in some stuff here. Stealth Neener. That's the name of the clip. There it is. March 1st. This one would not be subject to the 24-hour rule. All right, browser mode. Back to get out of browser mode. Just load that up in Twitch and load that up in Twitch mode. All right. Asmongold? What the heck's with this? Something from Destiny and everything? The problem with Twitch's clip page is I can't zoom it in. It's a VTuber. There's a VTuber over here, dude. Oh man. Oh, what happened to my OBS? Looks like changing the size of it messed with a few things here and there. All right. Where'd the music go? All right, there it is. This over here. Just cut this for a second. Browser mode. So this might actually be something that someone might find funny if they don't know that Neen, who's hiding behind him, is a friend of his that he was streaming with and he was stuck in Vietnam. But if you're in the general public, and it's not a good way to test that if you don't watch his streams, if you are in the general public, would you find this funny and want to find out more about the guy behind it?
POV Jay is a child and wants to be picked up.
This was kind of cute, by the way. Someone in the chat challenged him to do this. Yep, think like little kid
that are walking next to me must think I'm fucking...
My name is Nina.
That I'm crazy.
All right, that's a sound alert. Somebody redeemed some things in there. There's a thing where she says hi, but she has a thick Vietnamese accent because she's from Vietnam. Duh. So that's kind of a little sound. There used to be one that goes, hey, absolutely. I don't know. It's just things people can spend their channel points on. But he has no idea that she's back there for a long time. Pretty much the entire clip.
Up.
So he's pretending he's a little kid, like, pick me up, daddy, or something like that. And then he moves around and she's that good and having a blast, obviously, while doing it. She's that good at him not figuring out that she's standing there. So he's waiting for her to get back, and then there we go.
What the fuck?
And we're demonetized. Whatever. The chat streams always get demonetized, though. Who am I kidding? 141 views in 6 days. So this clip is doing as well as my tech videos. I was behind you all that time. Yeah, I think they were in some mall in Bangkok. But if you're not familiar with the channel,
is a child and wants to be picked.
If you are not familiar with the channel, you might get some laughs out of this. But anything featuring inside jokes or something along those lines, or if he says something stupid and his audience clips it, I mean, what can you do? How do you make short form out of that? That's the thing. If he's converting Twitch clips over to short form or something like that, what does he have for Twitch clips nowadays? Let me actually take a look at that. Head over to his channel here. What does he actually have for Twitch clips? Hey. Oh, what's this? Top 7 days. Oh. Put that back on the screen. Oh, it is him. Yeah, it is. Look at this. So I'm the number 3 clip in the last 7 days. My stealth Neener is the number 3 clip. Let me put the music back on. We don't need to play. I suppose we could. Well, he's an IRL streamer, so he doesn't actually have music in his streams. So I theoretically could just keep the music going. But yeah, lizard eats bird. This might be something that appeals. Yeah, this might be something that appeals to a general audience. Here, get some sound. What? Why is there no sound? Oh, I have Twitch muted. That's why.
The black crow already.
Dude, he ate a crow. Venomous saliva, Jay? What? Oh my god. It caught a bird. It literally caught a bird.
Yeah, it's called the food chain, Mr. Streezy. So this, I think, could go to TikTok because you'd have the editor just chop, or you chop out the follower count, chop it here, and maybe do some editing. So in order, a lot of these like quick video things that these platforms offer nowadays is like vertical only. Basically, you make a vertical video out of a horizontal video, which is what he's shooting when he's streaming. So you can cut this out and you can do other stuff like that, convert it over and put it over on Instagram Reels, And it's cool that he's going to multiple platforms with that, because every platform has its internal audience that doesn't go anywhere else. There's people on Twitch that don't watch YouTube, and I've run into people on Twitch that don't like YouTube. Twitch also operates in some countries where YouTube is blocked, so that's another element of it as well, and vice versa. YouTube operates in places where Twitch is blocked too. Not just countries, but if Twitch is, it's a gaming site, and Twitch is firewalled at companies, people on their breaks and lunches at companies on company networks or VPNs or whatever can watch YouTube streamers and the like. So, and then there's just personal choice. Some people like TikTok but don't like YouTube, or YouTube but no TikTok, but Twitch but not either. So sending stuff around is cool. And I mean, what Jay's basically doing here is what I do with stuff from streams. If there's something that's cool enough.
The black crow already.
Dude, he ate a crow.
Woo! If there's something that is, if there is something that is good enough to be its own thing, then why not? It's Sweat Dude. Okay, what else is this? What had happened? What do you mean what had happened? What even is this?
Whatever. That's fine.
Can we make something of this?
So, we start talking to this guy, and Mr. K leaves.
Oh, that's the tuk-tuk
and
thing.
He's like, okay, my dad, he's going to take you. It's,
See, this violates one of the fundamental rules of video making. If you're visual, show it, don't say it. So, we can't do something with that. Stealth Neener, I think, has potential. It's the third most popular clip he's done in the last 7 days. What's top 24 hours? Oh, no comp. No, he hasn't streamed. Top 30 days? I'm a little further down the list. Yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Stealth Neener. Then some of these might be like, you know, old jokes or something, or bad jokes or something like that. But, you know, I imagine a lot of this means going through the Twitch clips and converting them over. Cliffhanger maintenance. Oh, yeah, he was in Florida before he went back to Asia. Let's stick to the past 7 days with all this Thailand stuff that's going on. VIP tuk-tuk. Oh, perfect. So I imagine somebody going through and digging for these kinds of things, then sending them over to other. So it really depends on, you know, the clippers that you have. It really depends on the clippers that you have in your audience for that one. Unless, of course, this position is going to involve someone obsessively watching his VODs to find stuff that the clippers missed. So it's just, at least I like, though, that he likes the color blue. So there's something we have in common there. At least, you know, with these kinds of things right here. Food, friends, fun, travel, subscribe to my YouTube channel, etc. Business email conveniently buried off. Temple of Noodles? What the heck is that? They're watching clips on stream.
And this is the temple that we just came to. It's called Wat Pho. Like Vietnamese pho?
Yeah, that's what.
Wat Pho?
What for?
This is the Temple of Noodles.
DMCA. That's why I'm glad I'm playing music. I hear Beatles music playing, so we'll stop that. Let's see here. Yeah, so he's just walking. Oh, let's see this here. He's walking around outside a temple. It's like, oh, this is a name that translates to Temple of Noodles. I mean, that's not something that, it wouldn't be anything interesting on TikTok. There's this idea that TikTok is all random stuff, but there's a method to the madness. There's algorithms in play and all kinds of other stuff too. Oh, wish him luck with the position. But what I would do is I would actually do things a little differently. I wouldn't necessarily go looking to hire somebody for that. What I would do is crowdsource it. Have like video contests or something along those lines, or something like that. Or have it to where like a best of clips or something like that in Discord. How would that not be, though, redundant to the clips channel that your Twitch channel gets to have? I don't know. Top clips, previous 7 days, probably fine for that. But the thing is, you could also get the timestamps. Well, the problem is he's a VOD barfer, so he sends the VODs over to a YouTube channel. So if you wanted to get something besides what the clipper showed, then you'd have to play timestamp games and find it in the VOD and then do it that way. Interesting. Yeah, that's a situation with Streezy on that one. He also had a run-in with some entitled jackass who was upset about being timed out. Oh, man. He made fun of his beard or something like that, and he tied him out for 10 minutes, and he comes back, "How dare you time me out? I bought a 6-month sub." And I'm just thinking, such projection here. People accuse streamers of being whiny and entitled. Here's somebody who watches streamers doing exactly that. All right, anything else in the... Yeah, it should be interesting. Yeah, it should be interesting seeing where this goes and what he does with it. I think he could crowdsource this to his Discord if he really wanted to. Let's see, what else we have in here? Has it been late enough? What is this? I remind that. Okay. Let's see. Still too early to... The jet ski thing was around sunrise, so we're still within the 24 hours. We're still within the 24-hour exclusivity for that jet ski incident. I'm sure people that do probably send it viral. So there's all this crap about needy streamer overload that I shared. There is something else, though, that we should probably bring up, and that is this whole situation with... Do I still have it on the desktop? Yes, I do. Dispelling the YouTube Premium myth. Yeah, can we open that in a web browser? I know web browsers can display graphics if it's the right format. Let me see if I can open it up in... Can I actually open it up in Google Chrome? I can open it up in Firefox. Yeah, Firefox can display... Firefox can display it too. I don't know if I really needed to show these numbers, though. So there's this rumor going around on YouTube somehow that YouTube Premium is better for content creators... Let me close this out here. There's this rumor going around on YouTube that YouTube Premium is actually better for content creators than ads. That is false. We should know it's false by now. For one very simple reason, if you know anything about business. Ads have dynamic CPMs on YouTube. So the ad revenue, if you want to optimize a channel for ad revenue, it's perfectly doable. You just have to optimize your channel. You know what I should do? I should actually make an Excel sheet out of this. Don't open it up in Firefox. Put it in Excel mode. That way I can show the calculations and everything. See. Blank, give me a blank Excel sheet here. Will this pop up automatically? Yes, it will. So let's see here. Wish we could dark mode this. I wish we could dark mode this so that it would look a little cooler. Can I actually do that? Actually, can I do that? Home. What if I did this? Yeah, I can black that out and then just change the font. Thinking here, huh? How about we go full on chalkboard here? White on black. All right, we need to make this much bigger. All right, we need to make this way bigger. Can I zoom this? Yes, down here. I think it's I wasn't holding down the control key enough. Let me just zoom it in to like 200%. So I get decent size stuff here. Let's go chalkboard style here for this kind of thing. All right, let me see here. Dispelling the YouTube Premium myth. So here are some numbers. Oh, look, it's keeping it the right size too. Here are some numbers over the last... I don't think this is going to work very well. All of this, bam. All right, chalkboard mode activated. All right, ad. Over the last 365 days, the ad revenue, you ready to see what a pittance it is? It's also, by the way, not TOS. To talk about how much money you make on YouTube, you just can't show CPMs. Let's put in some numbers here. Ad revenue, 247.40, so not even a 53rd paycheck. So didn't actually make one of my goals is to have ad revenue basically be an extra week's pay in the span of a year. So ad revenue has been an absolute tailspin on YouTube ever since YouTube rolled out the right to monetize. So I don't think YouTube is magically selling more ads. YouTube is definitely not magically selling more ads just because they wrote in a right to monetize. If you're not in the partner program, ads can be placed on your videos if they are ad friendly, and YouTube keeps all the ad revenue. It's one of the biggest things that YouTubers were going nuts about when this rolled out, because we all knew that this was coming. We all knew that people's ad revenue would go in the toilet because YouTube's not going to magically start auctioning off more ads at higher CPMs just because they gave themselves the right to make money off of non-partnered videos. The same amount of ads, the ads they do get are going to be split among more videos in terms of the impressions. So the ad traffic and stuff like that, kept getting the Buy YouTube Red ads. It was a while ago because YouTube Red has been renamed since then. Ad revenue, 247.40 views. So this is at 76,981 views in 365 days. All right, YouTube. So let's do premium revenue. So premium revenue, let's make this bigger. Actually, let's compare them over here. Premium revenue. Premium revenue in the same time period was 1234. Pathetic. Ooh, not even a large pizza in the span of a year. Premium views. 5922. Now, the problem is the views combine together ad views and premium views. So let's do ad views. And let's have this equal total views on the channel minus the total views under YouTube Premium. Why did it just convert that to money? D4 minus G3. Convert that over to an integer, please. No, that can't be right. There must be something missing here. Equals this minus this. Might be having more number pad problems. 71,059 ad views. Let's do revenue per ad. This will be a decimal number. Equals total revenue of 247.40 divided by 71,059. Way too small. So we're going to format this over to a decimal. And let's give it like 8 decimal places. Give it like 10 decimal places, see if that's enough. 0.0034816 that's 0.003 something. Now, revenue per premium equals this divided by this. Format it the same. Make it bigger. The ugly truth is right before our eyes. Sort of before our eyes. So this is ads versus premium. People were saying that YouTube Premium was better for content creators than ad revenue. Here's the hard evidence that these people have no idea what they're talking about. A static membership fee is never going to replace dynamic CPMs that could go higher than that membership fee. Revenue per ad, 0.003 versus revenue per premium of 0.002. And by the way, this is lower. This is actually lower. Let's make it even bigger. Showcase this difference even more. Set this like this. Make it even bigger. How big can it go? There we go. This is too small. The reason why it's too small is because of the denominator of ad views. We don't know for certain that these 71,000 views all had ads on them. People could have been using ad blockers. There could have been ads that were out of inventory. Could have been out of ad inventory, so no ad was displayed. All of that. So if anything, this is too low. and it should actually be higher, not the difference between 0.002 and 0.003. Let's say half the audience uses ad blockers, would bring us down to like 35,000. Boom. Send it back. So yeah, ads, even when it's diluted by ad revenue, in terms of the revenue per view, ads are ahead of premium. And we know that this is low because there are numerous reasons why an ad won't play, whether someone's using an ad blocker or something else. So this could be even higher. What else needs to be said? Whatever this rumor is from these people that are pretending to actually know what they're talking about, that are saying that ads are not better than YouTube Premium, they need to get some business sense. They need to understand how dynamic CPMs work. By the way, the CPMs are proprietary information. That's what you're not allowed to show on camera. Let me actually check some CPMs behind the scenes. Where's the bookmarks on this darn thing? Let's see. Show me some bookmarks. I don't have any analytics in here. Well, let me go to... Oh, that's because it's Firefox. That's why. It's a fresh Firefox install. I haven't done anything with this in a while. Let me go channel content, open up analytics, go to advanced mode, show me some CPMs. All right, let's see here. You had a bunch of people unsubbing. Yeah, I suppose we should probably mention... You want to talk about toxicity among tech videos and stuff. I went looking at what videos have cost me subscribers. It's stuff other than tech videos. So there's your people that can't accept the fact that I do more than one thing on here. Let's see here. Where are we at? Probably get dropped down on the sub views. Analytics. The watch time is where it needs to be in order to maintain partner status. So that's, you know, some more watch hours than normal. Not bad for only a few tech videos and mostly streams. Let me just take a look at something in advanced mode. I'm not putting this on the screen. Give me CPM. How high do these go, actually? All right, what's the... I can't sort by CPM. Oh, that sucks. All right, how about what's earned the most money? Sort by something that's earned the most money. Oh. Whoa. There's some huge CPMs in here. So yeah, if you research what is selling higher amounts of ads, you can shoot your ad revenue through the roof if people let you have it. So yeah, not putting it on the screen because it's internal business information. But I'll tell you this, the biggest number that I'm looking at right now is triple digits. It really makes me wonder what that ad would actually be, that if 1,000 of them display across YouTube, it costs hundreds of dollars. It costs the company hundreds of dollars to advertise. I can't show it because it's internal business information. That's actually what you're not supposed to show. That's what people get mixed up with. You know, that's what people get mixed up. But if you have monetization on YouTube, you can go into your analytics and look at the CPMs that are available for your videos, and you can actually sort by what makes you the most money, and you can see some good big CPMs in there. So a YouTube Premium membership is never going to top dynamic CPMs. Let's also not forget YouTube also has the ad revenue set up so that it favors the creator. It's 55-45 in favor of the creator. So major improvement there in terms of that. Now here's the thing though. We just looked at a 3-digit CPM that's going to cost a company hundreds of dollars to advertise something to 1,000 people. I'm curious what that something is. It has to be something related to what's on my channel in order for the ads to get matched up with it. I seriously have to wonder, what is it that has the triple-digit CPMs? Let's see. Give me channel content here. Let me just check something. I know we've been demonetized. It always happens with chat streams. Yeah, it always happens with chat streams for whatever reason. It'll flip back to green after the processing finishes. Probably limiting the ads because it doesn't know what I'm doing in real time. Oh. Yeah. So triple-digit CPMs. Then you go over and you get Twitch affiliate, and you see what they pay you at with a flat CPM. It is so laughable. If I really wanted to, I could make videos to try and attract certain kinds of ads, maybe like product reviews, advertiser-friendly stuff. Just totally go after the money and chase money, and then ad impressions would add up to something. I just got to find out where to get data on CPMs and what things are selling for. And what would I have to make videos about? What would I have to do commentaries on? Like the latest iPhone or something? Would that do it? So I could totally optimize a channel just to make ad revenue if I really wanted to. But where's the fun in that? I want to do videos about stuff I have fun with. I want to stream about stuff I have fun with. So if I really wanted to grind, though, I could learn a few things about where those CPMs are coming from and find a way to get them. Something I've done, and strangely enough, it was my intermission stream, MultimediaJay's intermission, whatever it was, that had those CPMs. I'm like, what's being advertised alongside me talking about whatever it was in that stream? It was a stream, too, that got that wild CPM. Now, if only I could get 1,000 views on a regular basis. The thing, you know? So, yeah. YouTube Premium is not better than ads. Here's how it all but again, I mean, if I had the traffic, ads would be something decent. Except to get that traffic, I would need a level of production value that would probably require me to hire people. So that eats into what that would be in terms of money anyways. So you have that to consider. There's that entire side of it. So as YouTubers get bigger, a lot of bigger YouTubers have a team working for them. They have at least another editor usually, or someone handling business transactions or law stuff or something. Very often those bigger YouTubers and also Twitch streamers as well are not still doing everything all by themselves. It's one of the edges they have over smaller creators. The audience doesn't know that though, so they naturally think those people are better when in reality they're just a team. They stopped being a person. So you have that. But I think anybody with any business sense should have been able to tell you that there is absolutely no way a flat membership fee is ever going to be better than dynamic CPMs. So here's how everything shakes out. Ads are the cheapest way to support a content creator because if the CPM is high, the revenue will be high. So you have that going on. All you do, turn off your ad blocker. Even if you hit the skip button, the ad that you skipped counts as an impression. That's the free way of supporting creators. And YouTube actually has the skip button as opposed to Twitch. So if you get that hour-long ramble fest of an ad about some miracle cure that's going to help you lose weight without exercise, just click skip. It counts as an impression. YouTube Premium sort of works. But it's never going to be as good as ads because the CPMs could probably go higher. Some of the CPMs I was looking at are higher than YouTube Premium thing in the span of a month. So a lot of it's possible in a dynamic CPM environment like YouTube for ads to send more money over. And then you gotta think about what's the split for that. Is it like 70-30? Maybe that kind of closes the gap a little, as opposed to 55-45 in favor of the creator for ads. But YouTube, after seeing Twitch steal its thunder a couple of years ago, has things like channel memberships and supers. I can tell you that for smaller channels, supers probably do more than ads. So take a bunch of people like throwing $1 for something they like, that'll add up probably faster than ads with the amount of views that are in play. Ads probably don't start getting significant until a channel's much bigger, and even then, maybe. Depends on the market. But I'm thinking even with $1 club, $1 a month, times whoever gets in on that, if that got significant, it could add up pretty quickly, and it would probably add up faster than ads. Then there's supers. We're familiar with super chats during live streams and premieres. Throw a super. King Europe's done it a couple of times. But there's also super thanks for videos. Let me actually take a look at this. Let me head over to that video from Gamers Nexus. That was actually the first time I'd ever seen a super thanks in a video. People don't know how to use these things. I think what happens is it puts a it allows you to put something on like some kind of celebration thing on the video when it happens, and then a nice comment down below. It's basically a cheer and a dono for videos. I think other people would see that. Let me just load that up, because I made a clip of the Gamers Nexus visits Micro Center video. Let me actually load that up. We probably don't need sound for this. There, I'm giving Gamers Nexus an ad impression by letting the Liberty Mutual ad play. And now there's one for Honey. Please do not give me a trial, 1 month trial of YouTube Premium, because I'm not signed in. So I'm Mr. Random over here. All right, let me see. Browser time. Let me see here. Browser time. Still link up? No, it's different. All right, here's the video with Newegg. So let's go to theater mode. Make it bigger. There we go. Here's Gamers Nexus visiting Micro Center. Let's get a shot inside the store. There we go. Ha ha! How's that for a selfie? All right, let me see here. I want to zoom in on the comment and then get the timestamp for it, because I saw it earlier. Where is it? There it is, from this Jared Mullins fella. Is there some kind of... I'm getting the other stuff here. I want to zoom in on it. I've never seen one of these super thanks things in videos before. There it is. Taking time to treat... Oh, there is... So where do we see where he celebrated? Because this is a super thanks thing. Let's see here. What's this? Thanks for the kind words. Never seen a yellow comment. There's a thing. Super thanks to YouTube rolled out. Yeah, so there's people in the comments that have never seen this before. So let me show you what that looks like. Let me show you what that looks like here. Taking time to treat your fans the way you do is top notch. Keep up the good work. This is super thanks right here. So it's basically, think like super chat, but it's on videos instead. There should be something somewhere in the video though that shows some kind of celebration. Is it on the last? Let me just get out of zoom mode here. Whoops, wrong window. Is it at the end of the video? Let me see. Where would that show up? I'm just looking at their end screen here. Literally the best day I've had in years. Was that where it showed up? No, I'm gonna have to look up where super thanks pop up. But yeah, that's what super thanks looks like. And people are like, whoa, what does that even look like? This was a $10 super thanks comment. I think you should do a shout out in the next video. Yeah, you should definitely do a shout out in the next video to make folks aware of this, because super thanks is one of those things. It's one of those things that YouTube rolled out. People don't know how to use it yet or what it does. This is a super on a video. Let me actually look up how super thanks work. Yeah, it's been a while. I haven't really looked at it too much because it's not something that people are really getting into. All right, how super thanks work. A fun clapping animation on a channel's video page. The one-time animation will be shown. Oh, it's only shown to the purchaser. So the animation only is shown to the purchaser, but the colorful comment is down in the comment section. That's how that works. Okay, that's what I was thinking of. I was wondering how that all worked. Super thanks, revenue share. It's a 70-30 split after tax. So it's similar to a lot of the splits on YouTube. Better than Twitch, anyways. Super thanks was formerly known as viewer applause, was the applaud button. So the person who watches the video will see their thing in there, but I really think that Gamers Nexus should actually do some kind of shout out for everybody who does a super thanks. Think like what Twitch does and stuff like that. But yeah, so that's what a super thanks looks like. The comment lights up and turns colors. If I was... what if there's a way to show those at the top? So if someone does like a super thanks or something like that, you can sort it to where it's up at the top. Like top comments will show the super thanks ones on top and things like that. But yeah, so with Gamers Nexus, that's where I saw all of those. But yeah, in terms of support and stuff like that, supers, I think, on smaller channels can add up faster than ads. The problem is, by the time you're big enough to get good revenue off of ads, you probably have like an org or something more so than you just making videos. It's just the way it is with these larger creators. 321 at the Geek House. So let's do the double wave thing. Is anything else anyone wants to talk about? Wave number 1. Now we watch the preview here. And wave number 2. Now it made it to the preview. Nothing. Okay. So yeah, I covered a whole bunch of topics. Like I said, whatever shall I talk about? Now, we'll save the more focused discussions for times when I'm not trying to stop early and get some chores done. It's garbage day. There's going to be at least 2 things of garbage. I think one of my neighbors might be moving. There's about 7 or 8 garbage bags out by the street instead of the usual like 1 or 2. So somebody's doing some spring cleaning or somebody's moving or something along those lines. But I'm going to stop this. This is why I wasn't doing any game streaming tonight. I have plenty of time to do game streaming. Things are going to be quiet this week. Tomorrow, Monday-ish, night shift tomorrow. Monday night is our biggest night of the week. We'll probably do okay for that. But I'll probably be home early to catch, Thailand streams or do game streams or something along those lines. Be active on Twitter as well, saying what I'm up to that night. I'll probably be home early enough to do stuff. Then we got to figure out that month-long thing, if I'm going to be approved for that, at which point we have a whole bunch of projects to catch up on. Computers new in the box, things to rearrange, stuff to put in the closet, stuff to take out of the closet, rearrange the closet, stuff that's been sitting around. There's a couple of things that have been going on for the last 2 years that have held me up in that area. One of them, of course, is the pandemic, shutting down all the tech recycling around here because, we might get COVID from your half-busted printer or whatever. And then we have, of course, the back injury last year and trying to get a handle on how exactly I'm going to manage the pain from the herniated disc. So, just a matter of not wanting to make the injury worse. Don't want to end up requiring surgery. So, it's a lower back disc. It's one of the ones that that's more that can really cause problems if it goes out. So, especially with me shoving furniture, it's giving me an excuse to get my arms more involved though, so I can finally work on some upper body strength for a change. Not bad considering no gym membership. Need some more cardio though. I get more energy these days from any kind of cardio exercise than I do from caffeine. So I also want to blow the dust off the fat bike, and before the weather gets too ridiculous, get in shape riding it. Even if I'm just quietly riding around the neighborhood in the super bright floodlight LED street lights we have now late at night. Until the neighbors call the cops on me, of course. 324 at the Geek House. I got to do some walking around, seeing if I think I can fill at least 2 trash bags with stuff I want to throw out. That'll definitely also include the styrofoam from the box for the new TV. Don't know if I have to put out recycling or not. I think there's a little too much over at curbside as is. I don't really want to be putting my recycling bin out there and stuff like that in the midst of all of this. But yeah, this is why we just did a chat stream tonight. I'll be a little late on putting the clickable program guide in this thing, because I got to get ready for this coming weekend. Friday is when my dad wants to stop by, and we can talk honorary millennial and other stuff for that. But I definitely want this place to be more presentable than it currently is. My dad's trying to reassure me. He's like, hey, man, when I was single and before I met your mom, my places were always a mess too. Well, the clutter issue I have here is because of a combination of the pandemic and not wanting to make my back injury any worse. So pretty much gotten a handle on that. Been using arthritis Tylenol, even though I don't have arthritis. Well, this is acetaminophen, the Walmart version of it, but the Walmart stuff. But just interesting, how something made for arthritis works when you don't have arthritis, something like that. Because it's also, the real reason why I'm using that is because of blood pressure. Things like Advil and Aleve and stuff do not play nice with blood pressure numbers, and NSAIDs have other issues too, like aspirin. They have other issues too. So, well, we shall figure it out. And I think if the Geek House was in better condition was in better shape overall, I'd be a lot happier too. Hey, by the way, project area is still kind of messed up from when we were setting up the TV. It'd be nice if I got that in order. No shortage of things to do here at Jay's Geek House. Till next time, this is Multimedia Jay signing off. Thanks for stopping by.